Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It is kind of a blah, overcast Monday here. I watched Joanne this morning, and she says, I don't know, I think it's going to be around 80 something today, but not too bad. But for the rest of the week, the humidity is going to start creeping up. So should start feeling a lot stickier and hotter than it really is. So, yay. It's all good. I don't care. It don't make any difference to me and Jack. We don't care what it does. Anyway, let's see who we got hanging out with us this morning. We have Mr. Larry Galt. Good morning, Larry. Happy Monday to you. Troy Pritchard. Good morning. Another week has begun. Yep, sure has. Well, Bill, I mean, here we are in the first part of June, but it'll just seem like a blink of the eye and half this year be gone. So Lonnie's here this morning. Good morning, Lonnie. Clyde CNC's here. Good morning, Clyde. Clyde says, will it be 500 this Friday? Let's see, 96. Yeah, it will if I make it this week. No guarantees, no guarantees. Jesse's here. Good morning, Jesse. Mr. Lindsay's up early this morning. How you doing, Mark? Hope you're doing well. Leo's here. Good morning, Leo. Nice sunny day. All right. George Ralphus, how you doing, George? Hope you got all your little things printed that you were trying to get. Kevin L's in the house. Good morning, Kevin. Sean's here this morning. Good morning, Sean. I got to tell you, Sean, I saw that, I guess you sent me a Facebook request the other day, and I accepted your friend request. And of course, now I'm seeing your posts and stuff, which I wasn't before. Man, you can do some cool stuff with those tiles and all that. Those are really nice. I got a bunch of tiles that I bought when I bought my laser, but I haven't played around with it enough to really get it dialed in. So I'll have to do that again. Get back on that. Wilson's here. Good morning, Wilson. Thank you for the thumbs up. We got a couple over there. Got a bunch of slackers this morning on Monday. Darren Bird's in the house. Good morning, Darren. Yeah, I don't really have much to talk about this morning. Just typical Monday. If you listen close, you might be able to hear some lawnmowers going. Somebody's already cutting grass, I guess, trying to get ahead of whatever rain we might get. I don't know if we're going to get any or not, but it's just, according to Joanne, it's just going to be that typical weather where, it gets hot enough to produce humidity and rain and stuff like that. So there's, that way they get an easy forecast. They just say the same thing every day, high in the 80s and 50% chance of rain. So that's all I got to look forward to, I guess. But don't have much planned today. I gotta go to Tractor Supply and get my boy some more dog food. After Rocky passed, I stopped buying 2 50-pound bags at a time. But I swear it just seems like I just bought it. But I know if I check my receipt, it's probably been a while. But and plus I'm feeding him less. He's ever since that vet visit where they hurt his feelings and called him fat, I've got to try to get him slimmed down a little bit. Let's say. Let's see here. George says, yes, I got some of the Ender 3 upgrades printed. I was impressed with the fan ducts, solid and very strong. Thanks for your 3D tips. Oh, they ain't nothing I do. I'm just passing on information I got from somewhere else. My neighbor, let's see what client says. My neighbor says you can flash the bootloader to that board with an Arduino. He says he's done it. Yeah, I probably could. And I have a couple of Arduinos sitting right here on the thing. It's just that I tell you, it was a little frustrating for that thing to mess up. But now that I've bought that newer board and put it on there, and I ran that thing all day yesterday, and you couldn't even hear it. Couldn't even hear it. I mean, you can tell I got the camera right there watching that one. And you can't hear nothing but the power supply fan. They're loud like everything else, but super quiet, and I'm really, really happy with both of those. Yeah, they're just they just work, and that's what I want stuff to do. I like to tinker with stuff, but I don't like to tinker with that kind of stuff. When I pay for something, I want it to work, and when it does, I'm a happy camper, and when it doesn't, I'm not. So, but yeah, they are just super good 3D printers right out of the box. If you take the time to set them up right, of course, that's going to be with any 3D printer. If you get it and don't try to throw it together and get in a hurry, it's probably not going to work right for you. But if you get it, take time to get the bed and everything right on it, get it smooth and no slack, no wobble, nothing like that. No reason why you shouldn't get good prints. I was experimenting. Let's see what Mark has to say here. He's got something. He says, I have to replace Linda's computer today, so I get to spend the day loading programs for her. Yeah. Now, Mark, is that a new one with the newfangled Windows 11? I keep, this computer here it's still fairly new. It's probably a couple of years old now. And it's more of a gaming computer, which I bought because of, not for gaming, but because I do live streams and I wanted to be able for it to handle 3 monitors and stuff, which it does really well. But they really bug the out of you trying to get you to upgrade to that Windows 11. I get those pop-up things all the time, and I keep saying, nope, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I figure sooner or later they'll switch the buttons around or something, and I'll come in here without my glasses and think I'm hitting the decline button, and it'll be the other one or something. I don't know. Hopefully, I got where I try not to hit any button, click on any buttons on a computer now, unless I put my glasses on, because I found that I can't trust my eyes that much, and I Windows 11 might be fine. Is anybody out there running it that can vouch for it? But I'm the type that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So what I got's running fine. I don't want anything else. So let's see. Clyde says probably smoother now. Yeah, it is. It is, I think. Like I said, I ran it all day yesterday, just because I was testing a part, and it just ran all, and I had to keep coming in here, or if I was sitting in there, I would even mute the TV and go, Is it still running? And then I'd have to pull my app up so that I could look on the camera and see, because you can't hear it. You cannot hear it, especially back there. Now, if I'm sitting right here, I can hear the fan on the power supply, but you still can't tell if it's moving or not. It's just so quiet. Mark says, nope, Windows 10. It's the business computer I use for real estate. Okay. All righty. Clyde says, I still have Windows 7 on my laptop. Hey, I'm still a Windows 7 user. I've got, well, on my laptop, I have Windows 10, and I have Windows 7 on the laptop that I use for my vinyl cutter to run that software. It's got Windows 7 on it, and then I use Windows 7 to run my Avid. That's what I use. Windows 7 with Mach 3. So, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It works. It's not connected to the internet, so I don't get any kind of stupid updates or, none of that kind of stuff. Virus protection that's going to kick on and try to run, because I don't need virus protection if it's not on the internet. None of that junk needs to run. Basically, the only thing I use on that one out there is Mach 3 to run the machine, VCarve Pro, and really that's only in case I have to edit something while I'm out there and I'm too lazy to walk in here, because it runs it, but it runs it a lot slower than the one in here. And then occasionally Notepad when I open it up to look at G-code or something. That's pretty much it. That coffee's good this morning. Charles said, my new computer upgraded to Windows 11 and you can't tell much difference. Well, let me ask you this, because when this may sound funny, but when I run, the Windows 8, the Windows, I think it went from 8 to 10 and all that. I never liked that new interface where, it looks like a big giant phone pad or something. I don't like that. So I always run what's called the classic shell, so that it looks, the main thing looks like the older Windows 7. That's what I'm used to. And as long as I can get that to do that, that's what I want to see. I don't want to have to get used to something new. So are you running that with your Windows 11? And my next question would be that's one reason why I haven't wanted to upgrade to 11, because I figure it'll probably wipe out my classic shell, and then I'll have to go back and see if I can figure out how to get it on there again. And as long as I got it working, I don't want to mess with it. Mark said he's got Windows XP on 4 computers. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I got all kinds of computers. I've got 2 of them over here, or under that table, and then I got a thing of shelves. In the whole bottom row, there's about 6 computers under there. Some of those have, I know one of them has XP, because that's what I was last using out there for a computer in the shop, my outside, my round back shop. And I have the computer that I have the SolidWorks on, that I have to drag out whenever I want to try to. I never use it's not even set up. It's up under that table, but I'll get it out and I'll set it up and then pull files off of it. And I've been changing the files over, trying to save them as step files, and that way I can use them in that Design Spark mechanical stuff. But that one uses that Vista. It's Vista Business or something like that that was on that thing. But yeah, so I've as long as I keep working, and you get an old computer like that, if you keep it off the internet, unless the hard drive fails or the motherboard fails or something like that, it's going to keep going. There's nothing really wrong with those old operating systems as long as you're able to keep them away from the internet. But let's see. Client says my old CNC mill runs on XP. No drivers for anything higher. So what? Yeah. So you're gonna try to go with that as long as you can, I guess, and then you'll have to change what the controller or something when that plays out. Mark says I run the Gatton on Mach 3 and Windows XP. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good thing about Mach 3. It just doesn't take much computer horsepower to work. It's not doing that much. Sean says XP is still my favorite Windows version. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I always like 7 too. I always kind of like that. It's funny how the Windows things over their history. It's like they always have they release an operating system and they'll have like a good one, and then they have a real dud, and then the next one will be good, and then the next one will be a dud. It's like every other one they've done. Maybe they've changed now. That's another reason why I'm not too keen on Windows 11. It might be perfectly fine, but I just feel like because I have mine set up to kind of do things the old way with that classic shell, uh, I don't want it to mess it up. So I just keep declining. They ask me every day, it seems like. So um, Mark says all the computers I have here, I ought to cannibalize them and make a huge storage server out of them. Yeah. Yeah. I've got not just the old desktops that I have, but I had a bunch of them that came with those kiosks that so I've got there's one still in that kiosk, and all those have Windows 7 on them. I had one that I think it's that one right there that I set up with Linux, but then I played around with that just enough to find out I didn't want to mess with that. So but I got two in here, and there's still one of those out there in that kiosk that I'm gonna have to take it out of there before I toss that kiosk. I can't get anybody to come get it. I give it away if somebody wants it, but no, nobody wants it. So let's see. Clyde says controller and its odd unipolar drivers, so I would have to buy a new NEMA 34s too. Oh, okay. Do you have NEMA 34s on it now? Oh yeah, who can forget Windows Millennium Edition? See, that's what I mean. That was one where it hit, and it's like, now this is the dud year when this one comes out. Yeah, Windows ME. Yeah, I'd almost forgot about that one. Okay, so Charles says the only difference is the taskbar icons where they align. They're in different positions than Win 10. Other than that, no difference. So I guess you did use Windows 10 with the default type setup and not. See, I have mine changed. Let me see if I can share my screen and show you what I'm talking about when I say when I say default, see, when I come over here and hit this, this is the old style. Um, kind of looks like the Windows 7 and even probably some older than that. But it doesn't have those big icon things like some of them do. Because I just didn't like that. I don't really know why, but I didn't want to have to learn new stuff. How to, I don't mind learning new stuff. In fact, I like learning new stuff, but I don't want to learn something just because somebody wants to change it for the sake of change. If there was nothing wrong with the old way, leave it alone. So I guess I'm just getting grumpy and stubborn in my old age. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, they got well, just cut one of them wires off. uh, let's see here. What's Lonnie talking about? He says, I've been working on a project with no success, making actual size nickels with a .02 ball nose with Vectric. Everybody needs a wooden nickel. I don't know. I've always been told not to take any wooden nickels. So, just saying. Yeah, I was working on a little project. We were talking the other day about the strength of 3D printed parts. And I just printed a part. Ain't much to it. But I printed this. And instead of doing the 100%, the place where I downloaded this part, which was Thingiverse, they had a list of what are they? Well, not a list, but in their description, and of course it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it the way they tell you, but they tell you how they ran it and had success running it. So they said that they had, I think it was like 5 walls and 50% infill and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I'm going to run a part because I'm trying to get rid of this crappy gray filament anyway. So I thought, well, I'm going to run a part and I'm going to set it up for the settings that person said and just see how it comes out. And I have to say, this, I hadn't been beating on it with a hammer or anything, but it seems, and it doesn't really feel that much lighter than I think it would have. I probably should run another one today and run it 100% and then get my little postal scale out and see what the difference is and all that. But I'm almost convinced now that I think this would be strong enough for what I want to use it for. But because I was surprised when I pulled it off the bed, and I'm like, yeah, that feels kind of heavy, almost like I'd run it at 100%. But it wasn't. It was, and the difference between running it at 100% versus the 50% with the other wall settings was about an hour and a half in time. So let's see. Yeah, talk to Leo about upgrading old CNC equipment to modern drivers and controllers. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's his brother that he helped with some big old machine or something. And in fact, I sent him my original smooth stepper. And I guess they got that working on whatever piece of equipment it is. I don't know if it's an old router or mill or something that they've got up there. My favorite solar man's in the house. R. Ballard Designs. Is that the same? Is that just you just changed the name on a channel, or are you on a different channel now? Yeah, I'd have to agree with Clyde. He says the shop looks pretty sweet. Can't wait to see the scoreboard up there. That'll be the final touch right there. He gets that scoreboard up there and all lit up. I keep thinking about these wooden nickels, trying to make actual size nickels with a .02 ball nose. That's freaking tiny. That is tiny. And he says, with no success, what kind of problems are you having? Okay, it says same channel, just messing around. All right. Well, you could change the name to whatever, but as long as you keep that little Z car up there, that gives it away who you are. I hope your arm is still doing okay after working on it this weekend. We'll get out there and overdo it and agitate something, and get back in the hospital where they give you some more of them pretty socks. But well, I guess my timer's just about up. Got a couple of minutes left. Guess I'll go ahead and get ready to go to Tractor Supply, load up on some dog food. Let's see. See what else I can get done today. Yeah, see, says I overdid it yesterday. Was in the sun too much. Yeah, well, you just got to take it easy until you get that outside part done, because then once you get in the inside, you won't be in the sun. But putting that metal up and all that stuff, it's you'll get there. You'll get there. Okay, LB says losses, lots of detail. Nickel, no text show up now. Yeah. I imagine it'd be hard because the text can't be, if you're trying to make it, to regular size. I don't know how you get the text to show up with that, even with a 20,000 ball nose. It says excited to see progress. Yeah. Yep. Clyde says he's going to be cutting some oak boards today. 2 by 3/8 to fix old hardwood floor. Okay. John says, Dave, I need you to make me some adapter for my dust collector. That is a perfect use for a 3D printer. I'd be happy to make you one. Send me, you'll have to do some kind of sketch. Send me a sketch of what the inside diameter needs to be, the outside diameter, both for the small. I'm assuming you want some kind of like a reducer thing. So just, give me the stuff, and then how long you want it overall, and if you want any bend to it or what, as long as you can sketch it out, send me a sketch. I can draw it up and then send you a drawing to make sure it's what you want, and then I can print it. And we could sit right here and watch it during the coffee sessions. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. That was my timer. I've got to get busy. Got some stuff to do. And hope y'all have a good Monday. And if y'all ain't doing nothing, come on back on tomorrow, Tuesday, and we'll do 497. All right, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see y'all.